So try to imagine seeing your everyday life through a lens that combined the environment around you with any variety of virtual reality widgets and labels and news blurbs and icons inserted to your field of view. That's a crazy thought, right? But now imagine how much different your perception of things may have been had you been experiencing your life through this lens since childhood. And instead of running freely through the fields and exploring the mysteries of your backyard like your grandfather did when he was young, you are instead alone in your bedroom, distracted under a constant barrage of entertainment and information. You know, and you have some friends, but they're also alone in their rooms being showered in entertainment. And most of your interactions with them would be made on social media, and some of your friends may have never even met you in the real world. Heck, some of your friends might just be bots. And if you haven't noticed, this coming so-called normal lifestyle that I'm describing is not a far stretch from life as we know it here in 2020. I mean, already our culture has slipped into a state of voluntary isolation as our beloved technology grows more and more immersive. And I'm sure I'm preaching to the choir here. I mean, everybody already sees the sad trajectory of our society in terms of, you know, warmth and closeness and intimacy and relationships and genuine companionship with others. We acknowledge the death of these things. As if we have collectively decided to abandon these things in pursuit of a more gratifying and entertaining and pleasurable experience in our short time here on Earth. And as a result, we don't really ever talk or laugh with strangers anymore. In fact, we try to avoid eye contact with strangers. You know, you don't want to come off like some kind of weirdo. Just keep your eyes to the ground. You know, and we don't really talk to our friends or family for that matter either. You know, we're quicker to send a text. And even those texts have become less personal. The communication line between us has been degraded to the point that kids now just send digital emojis to one another, you know, in an effort to express feelings which are far too complex to ever be articulated through a simple cartoon facial expression. And meanwhile, everybody is spilling their hearts and their feelings into their computers and their phones and their internet devices, you know, and updating their social media accounts several times a day to vent about all types of things that would really require a conversation to cope with. But instead, you know, we just settle for a thumbs up icon or a care emoji, you know, because we understand that everybody else is busy with their own social media posts that they got to manage, you know. And somehow our tech devices have become the new outlet by which we express our deepest and most passionate feelings. You know, and it's really a sad picture, you know, to see a sea of people who desire to connect with one another, and they're standing shoulder to shoulder, but their heads are all down, and they're fully engaged in their own little digital worlds, you know, and everyone has a million things to say, but nobody's talking, you know, just typing. And what's worse is that nobody on the other end is even going to read whatever it is that you're posting, you know, with not, at least not with the same level of interest that you'd want for them to, because, you know, they got their own posts to collect likes and emojis on. So the question is, what does it look like when you look, you know, 10 years down the line into the future of human communication and expression and interaction in context with the current state of things? You know, do you remember what I said at the end of part 1 of this video series? That now man has created a new version of life itself. You know, it's called virtual reality. Not virtual fiction, not virtual fantasy, virtual reality. And as we go through this info in front of me, we're going to reconsider the broadness of the intended scope of this technology.
Great! Looks like you need a good wine pairing. Take a look to your right. Your age has already been pre-verified through your profile, so no need to wait for an ID check. Just place the item in your cart whenever you're ready. I'm getting a notification from your connected smart fridge. It looks like you already have a full gallon of milk at home. Should we put this one back? Hey, good news, your oil change is done. Your vehicle will be ready at the Tire and Lube Express. I've added the service charge to your car payment. Now for the fun stuff. To electronics. You definitely saved the best for last.
Real estate market. isn't on scenic coastlines or in major cities. It's in the metaverse, where a growing number of investment firms are spending millions to acquire digital property.
Owning land now in the metaverse is a little bit like buying land in New York 250 years ago.
Metaverse real estate isn't all that different from property in the real world. It just exists digitally in 3D cities where users can simulate real-life pursuits like shopping, playing games, or attending virtual concerts.
There are houses that you can walk into, there are shops that you can go into and buy things. And this real estate in the metaverse is increasingly for sale.
The idea behind investing in digital land is that once you own it, you can make money by developing virtual property and leasing it out. Right now, the metaverse is an evolving space that comprises multiple digital worlds where users can interact with avatars. Many of these digital spaces appear cartoon-like, while others feel like virtual recreations of the real world. Andrew Kegel is the CEO and co-founder of Tokens.com, an investment firm specializing in cryptocurrency and metaverse real estate acquisitions.
Land in the metaverse looks a little bit like a monopoly board in that you have these parcels of land and you want to try to acquire as many parcels of land on the monopoly board.
There are only a few platforms where investors can buy and sell real estate, each with their own unique cryptocurrencies. Each platform has a limited number of parcels available for purchase, which is tracked using blockchain technology. In November, Republic Realm, a firm that buys and develops real estate in the metaverse, said it paid $4.3 million for land in the world of Sandbox. It's the largest digital property sale publicized to date.
The whole reason why it is a store of value is because at the outset, each metaverse platform declares exactly how many parcels there will be. So they would be cannibalizing the value of their own holdings if they continued to mint more and more of it. So that tenet of scarcity is what gives the category value.
As in the physical world, location is a major factor to consider when buying digital land.
Areas that are busier or have more visitor traffic, like the downtown areas, the parcels of land that are for sale there would be worth more than those that might be in the suburbs. Once you have this parcel of land, you can use various programming tools to create things like an amusement park, a casino, a museum. You can build whatever you want.
Investors are betting that individuals and companies will spend money on virtual developments like homes and retail space. And as more people join these online worlds, the properties will increase in value.
You know, if you build a mansion, you might sell it to someone who's very wealthy and wants to spend thousands of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars on a mansion in the metaverse. Or if you build a mall or an office tower, you're gonna lease out the space to companies and you're gonna collect rents.
Tokens.com said it paid $2.5 million for attractive land in Decentraland's fashion district. Decentraland is a 3D, decentralized virtual world that was launched in 2017.
The long-term vision is that we want to turn that property that we've purchased there into the Rodeo Drive or the Fifth Avenue of the metaverse. Our goal is to be the dominant and leading metaverse landlord.
Companies pay an architect to design virtual homes or malls and a game developer to build them. Zoning rules limit what and where a company can build in the metaverse. But unlike the real world, metaverse buildings can defy the laws of physics.
So there's a point in the development cycle where it looks nearly identical to real world real estate development. So you hire an architect, you come up with a mood board, you pull images of other spaces and buildings and designs you like, and you figure out what it is you're going to build. And then from that point forward, it actually turns into video game development. So then you hand it off to 3D renderers and then to 3D developers who make it interactive.